you have your Quran with you?
Yes.
All right. When you say that Allah, He sent him to Mecca and to the whole world, isn't it the Quran says we never send a messenger except to speak the tongue of his own people?
Yes, to speak the tongue of his own.
Okay. So now we have a verse saying that to Mecca and what is around it. And we have other verse saying that we never send ever. And this is sent to Muhammad himself, which means Muhammad is included. We never send a messenger unless he speak the tongue of the people, so he might make it clear for them. Do I agree with that?
Well, how are we gonna reconcile that with we sent Muhammad as a mercy to mankind? Yes.
Well, aren't people
However,
of Mecca,
when you say
aren't people of Mecca from mankind, or they are just different species?
yeah, everyone is from everyone on earth is from mankind.
Okay,
but
so,
I don't know how.
So
I
your
don't know, like,
answer. No, here we see. You are trying to find a contradiction. So if Jesus he died 1 mile away from the court, that does not make him die in Jerusalem. This is your opinion. Now, when we find the Quran saying that Allah he sent Muhammad to Mecca and what is around it, and then we find the Quran confirm that he never ever sent a messenger except from his people, and look with me the word people there. He have to be from the people, and the message have to be in the tongue of the people. So if Muhammad he was sent, he have to be sent to his people, and his people not even the Arab, they are Quraysh. And he have to speak in the tongue of Quraysh. And here we confirm that Muhammad he claimed that he received 7 Quran, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 7 Quran, is that because people of Quraysh they speak 7 Arabic?
No, because people around him were speaking
okay.
other dialects.
So look what happened now. Your prophet himself saying that even the Arab are not Arab. The Arab, they need 7 Arabic language. They are totally different. 7 Arabic because they cannot handle it. If it's the same, then why we need to make 7 Quran? So now we have a prophet who was sent to Mecca and what is around it, and suddenly Mecca and around it became Pakistan, India, China, Germany, for you in your logic. Same time, Allah will never send a messenger unless speaks the tongue of the people, and his people are Quraysh. He is from Quraysh. He speaks the tongue of Quraysh. And now suddenly that the tongue of his people is Pakistan for you. In the top of that, Muhammad he claimed that Allah, when he sent the Quran, he sent it in 1 Arabic, but he said to Allah, that doesn't work because my people they cannot handle it, which is very stupid to say, and I will let you explain that to me if you wish. Okay. So they cannot handle it, so he insists to receive 7. And now we go back to the Bible. So Jesus, he walked 500 meters away or 1 mile away from the court. That make him out of Jerusalem.
Yes.
How that work with you? You see your hypocrisy?
Because I'm going by the biblical verses.
No, both of them, they are saying the same thing. No, you see, when you say I'm going by biblical, no. You see, okay, you see here, when I say to you that the Quran was sent to the people of Mecca and what is around it, in a 2 second, you switch the word to what is around it to be even Pakistan.
I said we could go by that logic and there would be no problem, but you proved that there would be a problem, and I'm going to solve it for you now.
What logic? How you solve it? Go ahead.
Okay, so when you mentioned me this verse, we did not send any messenger except speaking in the language of his people, stated clearly for them, right? So when you say that, when Allah says what's around Mecca, obviously it would not mean outside Arabia, because that would mean that the prophet was speaking in other languages. But reconciling that with this verse, it could mean that the cities around Arabia or inside Arabia, because he would be speaking in their language. Now I want to see you defend the Bible.
No, here, hold on. You see, I already answered you, because this is your understanding. It's a silly understanding. It's not true.
It's not my understanding.
No, this is your understanding. This is your understanding. This is your understanding. Because it's still this is Jerusalem. Still this is Jerusalem. Listen carefully.
It's not Jerusalem.
It is Jerusalem.
Because it's not inside the city.
Well, the city is not just a wall.
I'm telling you,
It's not up to you.
My friend, listen.
My
When
friend,
you want to defend
I can say now,
listen,
I can give a detail. I say, I went, hold on. You are talking, let me answer you. You said to me that it says outside. I will go with you. I can say now, I went to Washington, D.C. But Washington, D.C. is not just by entering the city. I can be in the border of Washington, D.C. I can be a mile inside Washington, D.C. And I can be in the middle of Washington, D.C. So each one of them, he is giving extra details. So one is saying that the prophet have to die in Jerusalem. The other one saying that he died in that location, which is still for both of them, Jerusalem.
How you're understanding this verse is you're using certain terms. How I'm understanding the verses, I'm going to use the terms by our own scholars and historical narrative.
You know, my friend.
Now,
okay. Let us make an agreement. Let us make an agreement. Let us make an agreement. Me and you. Let us make an agreement.
Make my second.
I will tell you. I will let you talk. Let us make an agreement before we talk about. Before we talk about the scholars.
I just want to make the second point, please.
Do you agree with the scholars?
You made 2 points. I will make
you make the point before we talk about scholars. Do you agree with the scholars? Do you agree with the scholars?
But you cut me off.
Do you agree with the scholars? Before we talk about them, before we talk about those who you call them scholars, do we agree with the scholars? So if I show you now a scholar, he says something, do you promise me you will accept?
And to accept the scholar's statement. I'm just making for the.
Oh, so you are using anyone you call him a scholar, or anyone call him a scholar. So he don't agree with me, so we use him.
Fine,
so,
let's leave the scholars out of the equation.
No, hold on. You see, here you are being hypocrite again. Either you are a person who agree with the scholars, whatever who you call them scholars they are, or we don't agree with them. So do you agree with the scholars? Do you agree with the scholars or you don't?
I don't.
You don't?
Why would I agree with them?
So why you are quoting me a scholar? Myself, I never heard of him.
I'm quoting you. I'm quoting the scholars for the audience because those are the people who understand the Bible better than you and me.
First of all, when you get a scholar, for us, we don't have a scholar. We have Paul, we have John, we have Luke, we have Mark, we have the disciples.
Yes.
We don't follow anyone. Anyone, he can say whatever he wants. I can call myself a scholar. You can call yourself a scholar. And here you see the hypocrisy. When I mention to you the scholar, you don't want to follow a scholar, but you are the one who is bringing me a scholar to prove your points. So how you don't accept a scholar, but you are bringing me a scholar?
I wasn't using the scholar's term to prove my point. I'm just saying for the audience that there are scholars who understand the Bible better than me and you.
There is a scholars, they are laughing at you, and already we answered you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Okay. No, what do you mean whatever? What do you mean whatever? What do you mean whatever? When you say to me that Mecca and what around it, Mecca and what is around it mean even Pakistan, and then you say to me, a scholar, he said, if Jesus he died 500 meters away from the center of Jerusalem, that means this is a contradiction. That is your stupidity. And let me ask you, does the scholar himself he says this is contradiction?
Does the scholar himself consider this a contradiction?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of.
So why you are quoting from being a scholar? How he is a scholar? He did not see it as a contradiction.
Okay, well, I just look at how the scholars interpret the verse.
No, my friend, are you quoting me for a scholar? He is seeing this is a contradiction, or he is seeing... Listen, Abdul. Why you call him a scholar? Why you call this guy a scholar? Whoever he is.
I mean, do you want me to not call him a scholar? I would.
I don't know. You call him a scholar.
Really?
So I'm asking you how he earned the title of a scholar. You said to me, I will quote for you a scholar. So he earned the title of a scholar. That means he knew what he's talking about, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably from academic.
The scholar from academic, he did not see it a contradiction. How the fool you decide this is contradiction?
My fool. How did I decide a contradiction? Because I used my mind and common sense.
Okay, as long you are using your mind with common sense. Allah, he sent, I never send a messenger except in the tongue of his people. Listen, this is not your logic now. Don't tell me your logic versus Allah logic. When Allah, he says, we never send a messenger, without being speaking the tongue and have to be from the people. How this verse will fit that Muhammad is a messenger for Pakistan? Go ahead.